This is the Friday edition of Good Morning Namibia, and judging by that song, it is also the entertainment segment. Eliza Matengu is a Namibian actress and assistant director in Australia. She is known for acting in Predestination, which was released in 2014, Thor, Love and Thunder, released in 2022, and Zombie Tidal Wave, released in 2019. Eliza now joins us to speak about her career and acting experiences. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Welcome back home.
Thank you.
Yes. How's life in Australia?
Life is good. It's
Okay.
good. It's not similar to Namibia in that it's a big country but a small population. It's 23 million, but the country's vast,
Yeah.
so it's a kind of very big island.
So you don't have traffic issues?
Oh no, there's
rush
traffic
hour
issues
problems?
because everybody lives in two cities.
Okay.
Not everybody, but the
Yeah,
population
majority.
is. You know, there's it's about 5 cities, and then the rest is countryside. So.
How did you get into acting?
It is the only thing that I have ever wanted to do.
Really?
But I grew up, I suppose, in an environment where it wasn't really encouraged, or didn't ever think that you could make money or have a career doing something creative. So I did it when I was young, and then I thought, no, I have to go and get a real job. Went and did an engineering degree, started my career as a broadcast engineer and producer, and it wasn't until I moved to Australia and I was not starting again, but starting a new life there, that I just thought that's the only thing that I've ever really wanted to do. And so I started doing one little acting class. I was working full time. Just I'll meet some people, and then it just ignited something in me again, and I just thought I just have to pursue this now. So off I went.
Off you went, and now you've appeared in some of the biggest films, to have ever been made. We are now going to take a look at a trailer of one of the films that you have.
You sure you want to do this?
Gotta do something. Let's go.
How the hell do you owe $26,000?
I'm collecting the money, Robert. You've got 10 days. I'm coming for you and your daughter.
Do you have any idea how to pay it back?
Maybe we could knock off a couple of surveys?
You could knock the froth off a cappuccino, Robert. We're doing it my way. I'll help you make the 26 grand. You have to listen to me.
All right. Be the boss.
Walk in like a boss with my money, yeah. Walk in like a boss with my money, yeah.
Give me the money now!
Sweetie, I've got a reputation to think about.
Sometimes people will get you down, they get back up. It's not the end of the world.
Have you lost your mind? Show up as a father.
It's so simple as 1, 2, 3.
You never have my back, not even when it's your ass on the line.
So what did we just watch?
So that is a new television series called Swift Street, which is coming out on the 24th of April in Australia, and then watch this space for international. I'm not sure what will happen after that.
Oh wow, okay. So tell me more about this new series.
Well, it's a really exciting production because it's the first time in Australia that I've actually worked with a black director, and quite a diverse cast. So he's a young man called Thor, who's a Zimbabwe-born Australian, and he wrote and directed it. And it's basically a story. Well, it's a crime drama, but it's really about the relationship between a daughter and her father and how they come together. Basically, because they owe me lots of money.
They owe you a lot of money.
So I'm the main antagonist, the baddie.
Okay.
So I lead up a crime gang, and they owe me this 26,000. And so it's kind of, as they're going about trying to find the money, they come back together as father and daughter, and I just come in and cause mayhem.
Okay, it looks very interesting. It's one that I would definitely be keen to watching. But how was the production process of it?
It was just, I auditioned and then I got the role, and then we shot over, they do it in blocks. I'm not sure how they do it here. So you do like 4 weeks doing like 4 episodes. So it's 8 episodes, 30 minutes each.
Yeah.
And they don't shoot them in sequence, so they just shoot them per location. So most of my world, if we call it, is in like one location. There's sort of their world and my world, and then we come together kind of at the end.
Yeah.
I won't give you any spoilers.
Yes, no, please don't spoil it. Don't spoil it for us because we would like to watch it. But playing the main antagonist, was this a character that you were familiar with channeling into? Was it easy? Was it difficult? What was that process?
It was
like?
really. It's funny because I'm not aggressive at all,
Okay.
and I'm in life I would be the peacekeeper or the negotiator or the person who's always trying to find a way to sort of make everybody. It's like if we can just bring everyone together. So. But I always get drawn to playing bad characters because I think it's really easy to understand why good people do good things. And I'm just fascinated by why people do what they do. So to be able to step into the shoes of somebody who's doing really terrible things, but you don't judge the baddie. So an acting teacher once said to me, you have to go in as if you're going to defend them in court. So you justify why it is that you're doing what you're doing. So it's really getting into that psychology of, how do I do these things thinking that I am right and that I'm not a bad person? Bad people don't often think they're bad people. They've come to that point in their life through, genetics or experience, and they're often just doing what they can to survive.
Yes.
So, by the end of it, I was just, people are like, don't you feel bad when you, and I was just saying, no, because I'm not doing anything wrong. For me, I'm not doing, for the character, she's not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, for the character.
Yeah.
Does this in any way impact also your thinking as an individual outside of acting? Do you perhaps understand bad people better? Do you sympathize or empathize with them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think you can empathize with somebody without it being okay what they're doing. So I think, people aren't often born criminals or they're opportunists. And if you're born in a certain circumstance and you have to find money to feed your children or something, how do we know, how do you know you wouldn't do the same thing in the same situation? It's easy to sit from a place of comfort and
when
judge,
you're not doing it.
and judge somebody and say, well, I would never do that.
Yeah.
Or even some people that are maybe stigmatized, like if you're, say, playing somebody that's marginalized, and people think, oh, that person, that's disgusting, I wouldn't do that. But you think, well, if you don't know if that person's doing that so they can go home and feed their child or whatever that is, behind those closed doors. So I think that's how I always approach looking at somebody who is bad or who is, frowned upon in society. And I think that part of film and television and storytelling is to come into a space and understand humanity a little bit better. And you might not agree with it, but you might walk away and think, well, yeah, she was still terrible and we're glad whatever happened to her at the end happened at the end.
Yeah.
But maybe if for a little bit of a second or something, somebody watching that show would be like, oh yeah, I get that, or okay, I understand why she's doing that, then I've done my job. Because I think it's not interesting if you're just, I'm the goodie, you're the baddie. I like complex characters.
Yeah. So it's basically just opening up a platform to tap deeper into the different dimensions of a person, for example, or of something.
Yeah.
You have now acted, apart from, the series that's coming out, like I mentioned, you've acted in Thor, you've acted in Zombie Tidal Wave and Predestination. How were these for you? Which of these, if I'm to ask, was your favorite, even in what character were you playing?
Thor was just like an incredible experience.
Of course. I was expecting that.
And Taika is one of my favorite directors. So I was, to be working with that person and the, actors of that caliber was just, a real moment for me. And also just the sheer scale of the production. I had not been on a set that big, and it really is a town. And it's just seeing all of these people who are at the top of their game working together, maybe 300 people on set, and then you have another 300 extras, and then you have horses, and then you have pyrotechnics, and then you have, it's just, the scale you can't really, it's amazing. Yeah. And my role was, I was the mother of one of the children who was a bigger character, and I'm the character Hemdale, who was played by Idris Elba. I'm his wife, which I was...
Okay.
There is a world where we had a child, so that was nice. We didn't work together. So I was very much a support for that. So a much smaller cog in a very big wheel, but just being part of that process and seeing the level of professionalism and, with the budget and when people are sort of operating at that level, it's kind of like watching elite sports or something. You just think, okay, well, there's nowhere to sort of go in terms of scale and budget after that. It's a Marvel, Disney, you know, I don't even know what the budget was.
How further could it go?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even though it was you know, it wasn't a huge part. It was just the experience, and I think taking away from that working with people on that level, it really did a lot for my, I suppose, confidence and working with other people and owning my space, I suppose, in other, I don't say smaller productions, but smaller scale productions, and not being so, like, after that, it's hard to be overwhelmed on a set, you know, after walking on.
Such a huge...
There's cameras like flying through the sky, there's things exploding,
Yeah.
you know, you're just like, okay.
But it's the experience that you get from this, you know, one that you can apply for the rest of your life, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you know, you describing what that set looks like. For us here in Namibia, it's a dream, you know, because our film industry is really, really still small. Do you think that you would ever consider tapping the skills that you have or the experiences that you have back into Namibia?
I mean, I would love to collaborate with Namibia in some sense. I don't know what that would look like, so talk to me. I think that, yeah, I think that would be great. And I know that, you know, Namibia has got, it's such a beautiful country, and it attracts global, you know, global film and television.
Because of the landscape.
Because of the landscape, Fury Road, you know, all of these huge productions. And in Australia, we have a similar thing where we attract Hollywood because of its, you know, the people are nice, they're hardworking. The landscapes are amazing, so we get a lot of Hollywood shows that come in, and it gives people local jobs, but we don't own the storytelling. Okay. And so I think maybe Namibia has a similar thing where the big series and the big shows come in, and they maybe hire people to be the crew, etc. But they're not. But they're not the director. They're not the, you know, costume designer. They're not owning the creative vision or the voice to tell the story. And I think it's really important that people have their own voice to tell their own stories. So if there was some sort of way to mix those two together, then I think that would be incredible.
Eliza, it was such an amazing opportunity to have spoken to you, to engage you, sharing your life story, especially when it comes to acting. For those who would like to, you know, to keep up with you and your work, what are your social media handles?
I am on Instagram. It's Eliza_Matengu. That's it.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
All the best with the rest of the acting career.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that was Eliza Matengu, who is a film actress, and she's also an assistant director. Now, Eliza has acted in various films such as Predestination, Thor, Zombie Tidal Wave, and also is waiting to have her latest series released very soon that is titled Swift Street. We'll be back with more. Stay tuned.